Here we are again with you today from Singapore, Thailand. It's Zed and the Dude Fish. We're here, we're going to talk about Survivor Season 33, Episode 2. And today we're doing a slightly different format. We're actually going to be giving commentary during the episode. So as we watch, we're actually going to discuss in real time what we are seeing and what we are hearing.
The Zed Dude Fish Survivor Podcast.
Hello, everybody. It's a good day in Singapore, Thailand, and we just started the episode, and we're watching right now. David's showing everybody how he's going to make fire. I was telling Zed that I was looking forward to seeing a lot of David this episode. Oh, he's almost burned himself. Good. Oh, shoot, he didn't burn himself. But go ahead, Zed. Start the cast.
Good work, Dave.
Dave's very proud of himself. Good work, Dave.
Yeah, we're kind of seeing an edit that's kind of portraying Dave as this sort of underdog hero. He's going to be going on a journey, maybe a hero's journey throughout the season.
A hero's journey. That would be good. They're giving Dave's hugs. Dave's getting hugs.
Yeah, but if you listen to what they say when he's not around, then you...
Nobody likes Dave. But I don't like Dave, but I love Dave. I think it's possible to love somebody and not like them. What do you think about that, Zed?
Sure, I think you can love somebody. I mean, love for me is more of an action rather than feeling. I think you do love. He's looking for an idol again.
Dave is looking for an idol. Nobody's talking back smack.
He's getting chairs, or is he?
Dave's still looking for an idol, willing to dig under trees, put his hands where small bugs and critters may burrow.
We're getting a lot of his backside. I wonder if the ladies like that.
There's a special coconut. Dave spots it. No, he doesn't spot it. The cameraman spotted it.
No, he spotted it, trust me. I've seen
Dave, Dave saw it. Look, a special coconut.
Holy crap.
It's always such an intense moment for the person who finds it.
Right, and somebody always comes walking up. Oh, here he is smashing open the now, what do you think? They glued it back together? They opened it, put something inside, and then glued it back together? Is that what happened? Oh, they did! First time I've ever seen that on Survivor. How about you?
I think that's a Survivor first, yeah.
Okay.
Hiding an idol inside a coconut.
With a message. Dave's reading.
Same old rules. Now I have the immunity idol.
So the immunity idol is just a normal idol. It's used the same way all idols have been used in the past. No special powers.
No special powers for this one. It's just a regular hidden immunity idol.
Looks like a shell.
Looks like a kind of a shell.
Yeah, it looks like something I could have made.
Like a crab claw.
I think I did make that one.
Okay, here we go to the yo-yos. Alright, so I just turn down the volume so far.
Vanlia is the millennials. Taklia is Takali. Takali is the X.
Alright, how many people can you name at this moment?
Nobody, but I can name the Triforce. I remember the word Triforce.
Taylor is one of the members of the Triforce, which in this episode we'll see being challenged somewhat.
Okay, good.
You don't like the Triforce very much, do you?
No, I love the Triforce because they're diabolical. I actually kind of gravitate towards the bad guys when I watch Survivor. There's a lot of good guys, but the bad guys kind of are the ones that I like to watch because they're always cooking up something evil.
Mm-hmm.
I see myself as being a bad guy. I see myself as being a good guy, overcoming bad guys. How about you? Would you be a?
I like the villains who tend to use some type of strategy.
We have a physical hookup.
But when it comes to such social tactics, usually I'm not a big fan of that. Usually like bullying or when you don't include somebody.
Boy, we saw some people get threatened.
Yeah.
They were putting out fires left and right and hiding axes. And my goodness, last season got brutal. Oh, a little cuddle.
They were smooching hardcore. What didn't you see? That's the question.
Well, I didn't see the other part of the Triforce.
It wasn't a threesome, that's why. It was just two of them.
A twosome.
That's so weird. You millennials, you're not nearly as cutting edge as you think.
Well, they think they invented it all. But remember, Gen Xers thought we invented it all, too, before the baby boomers thought they invented it all. And then the greatest generation, I think they thought they invented it all as well.
Yeah.
They actually went off and conquered Europe, so they had something, more to show for their effort.
Maybe it's because we're the millennials. Like people, Cop, Kayla are going to try to throw it out there to target on our guys, but nobody cares.
Power couple. It's been a while since we've had a power couple in Survivor.
It's the second episode. It's a
woman-man power couple.
Right,
Romantic
it's the
link.
beginning of. It has to last, I think, at least 7 episodes before it's classified as a power couple.
The survivors are classifying it as a power couple.
Oh, they did? I'm sorry, I missed that. I got to pay better attention. And here's Zeke, one of my favorite over on the Millennials. And Zed's favorite, what's the girl's name again?
Mari?
Mari. And there's Jay. Jay's upset about the Triforce.
Yeah.
So somebody invented this thing where you were not supposed to put your woman in front of your best friend. And of course, it's better known as the bros before hoes theory. And I have to disavow that. I'm smart enough to know to put my woman first every time. And I'm not playing to the women who are listening. I'm just that smart.
I would say yes to that. Put your woman before your bros.
Yeah,
but your bros before your hoes if you happen to have
hoes. A hoe. Oh, well, wait a minute. See, I never thought that way. I thought hoe was a generalization, and you're saying if she's not very important, it's just a hookup.
Just a fling, just somebody you met yesterday. You just met on Survivor.
Right. Well, the $1 million show that you waited your whole life to be on. It's a little bit different dynamic than just, visiting your friend in Los Angeles. Underwater scene now. They're snorkeling and looking for fish. He's got an octopus. Yummy.
Who is that?
Oh, I don't know. Do you know?
Yeah. It's,
Tell me.
I think it's Daniel. I think that's his name.
Oh, okay. That looks delicious. I know my wife would be thrilled to death if Daniel came to shore with a big octopus. That's a lot of food. That's enough to feed the whole tribe.
Yeah, for one night.
Oh, yeah. Yep, and interestingly enough, there's a number of different ways that I would attempt to cook it.
Oh, it's Ken.
Ken got the octopus.
I want to say Dan, but it's Ken.
Oh, we talked about the provider in seasons past, and I think his name was Ozzy.
Yeah, it was Ozzy.
Yeah, it kind of came to me when I was falling asleep. One of my favorites. Love Ozzy.
I never liked Ozzy too much.
You're not really.
I didn't think he had enough personality.
He lacked the snappy repartee. And here's the shirtless 52-year-old
That's Paul.
Gen X
That's Paul's one I consider to remind me the most of you.
of Dude Fish.
Dude Fish, yeah. I kind of see a little bit of Dude Fish and Paul.
Here on opposite sides of the science spectrum. I don't look like anything like it.
Well, there's Dave giving another commentary.
Looks like an Adonis. Yeah, what's her look like, Dave?
So I think we missed it, but Ken actually said when he was younger, he was really shy, and he still is shy. He's dealing with insecurities.
And he's a good-looking guy, so people approach him, but he doesn't know necessarily how to always respond.
Yeah. So.
Interesting. So now we have David is showing Ken. Ken has shared the octopus. David is showing the idol.
Yeah. Alliance. Trust. the only person he shows the idol to.
Interesting. Now, I'm actually going to give you kudos. I said something during the last podcast that I didn't feel that David was too into staying, and from a couple of the things he was saying and how he was acting, and of course that's a pretty big move on Dave. What do you think about that?
I think it's cool, but I think it's neat how you see that the show's focusing on that small lines, but they are definitely on the outs. They're in the minority group, and it's Paul who's kind of in the lead, in control of the majority of that tribe.
Okay.
I kind of see Paul as like the Goliath, and Dave is like David. It's like David and the Goliath. There are actually 3 really big guys in that tribe, so it might be better to say David and the Goliaths, just because there's 3 really big guys there.
We have one of the women on the millennial tribe, the Vanlia? What is that name? Vanlia tribe, opening up coconuts, and I have to say, every time I see somebody who's not used to doing it, chopping at a coconut using the...
she was prying open the coconut on her coconuts.
On her coconuts, using her coconuts to open it. But when she was using the machete, I just fear watching somebody, clip a hand or a finger. You see them do that all the time here in Thailand, and boy, they can do a good job. They open it up in seconds, and I still worry every time I see somebody open up a coconut with a machete.
So here's Michaela. She's getting some screen time this time around.
Oh, that's right. We didn't see a lot of Michaela last week, did we?
No, I thought she was the first boot, but no. She's not happy about it. She's Machete Michaela.
Oh, so Michaela knows how to use the machete.
Yeah.
She's had some experience, maybe?
So it's common knowledge now in the tribe that
is there a fight right now, Mike?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So this is what I'm gonna say, and I don't know that maybe you can correct me. You're the millennial. I think the millennials are more upfront and willing to just say what's on their mind with each other. Is that right? Where the X's seem to hide a little bit and don't say. But now they're having an open fight in the middle of camp, and nobody's even been voted out of their tribe yet.
I don't know if that's generational or just wisdom that comes with age. Because I think the older you get, the more you realize that the information, your feelings, and those things are better serving you kept to yourself.
Okay.
Using those strategically.
So you think it's youth? Might be youth.
Just youth.
I'm going to say I agree. I remember having a big mouth when I was a younger man. Well, I still got a big mouth, but yeah. Takali, Gen X. Okay, and that's Paul.
That's Paul.
Okay, Paul, you think is taking on the leadership role?
Yeah.
I don't have a choice. I breathe control.
I breathe control, he says.
Oh, here we go again. He's the kiss of death. All he's got to say, remember, is they vote the way I tell them, and he will be instantly voted off as if by magic.
Who said that?
Many people have said it in the past. You've heard that. They vote the way I tell them. But I think Rob actually said that, and Rob won, so I could be completely wrong with my theory. You know how fan theories go. What's the matter with Paul?
Well, you can either watch and see what happens, or I can tell you.
Okay, Paul's having some physical problems. Ooh, man. He goes through a medical screening before they go out on this island to live amongst the savages. Oh, his hand shaking. I'm not going to call it dehydration. I believe they all have enough water, so I don't think it's dehydration. Unless he's been deliberately not drinking. I hope not.
Well, some people maybe forget to drink water.
His hands are numb, so it's a circulatory. All right, now the producer's actually chiming in and telling them to stay away from him. And we're going to see medical show up here soon. Dr. Joe. So medical's on site. I haven't seen Dr. Joe before.
And you got to know that Jeff is probably in his luxurious hotel right now being told that he needs to get on his
Jeff
helicopter.
Probst, get on your helicopter, come. We have a fatality on the beach.
Put down your,
Okay, breathe. Oof. I'm extra scared for the guy, I got to tell you.
put down your cocktail. Let's get on the helicopter, Jeff.
Put down your
Your martini.
your frosty beverage. Okay, we have another medical team showing up.
Her eyes look a little bit better.
Dr. Joe is on site, and now another, a couple men are showing up, and these are got to be emergency medical technicians, right? EMTs,
Yeah.
You thinking?
Yeah.
And they're looking at his heart rate. Jeff Probst is there.
Yeah, they finally got him out from his hotel.
So you think, my theory was that I thought that Jeff spent as much time at a hotel, and your theory was that you think Jeff actually is on site somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Is his tent air conditioned?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay, he at least has an air conditioned tent on your.
I believe so.
Okay.
There's control again.
Paul has said he's never gone down. For those of you who do not know, Paul looks slightly overweight, maybe by about 20 pounds. I say slightly. That's a lot overweight, isn't it? 20 pounds.
Do you feel that way too? Are you a person who likes to have control over things? Everything needs to be planned, and you gotta.
Oh yes, God yes. I'm OCD and ADD.
There's another reason for you to relate to Paul. He's also control.
Yeah, the difference is that he's trying to control a group of people that he does not know, and that's hard. Boy, that's hard.
He's having a hard time losing control of his body. That scares him. Something you can relate to.
So one of the things that I would say in regards to one of my theories of how I would play, I would try to pick out early on who seemed to be more charismatic, and I would try to gravitate towards them instead of a group. Okay. So I would try to go towards a single person instead of trying to endear myself onto a group. I think it would be easier. And I think it would kind of be easy if you stood back and watched who that person was. But then, of course, they would have to accept you. And if they didn't, wasted time. How would you do it? Would you try to make yourself the leader?
No, definitely not. I would make everyone feel as though I was following their direction.
Okay.
And I may have one or two individuals that I feel more closely who are more trustworthy, so I would veer towards them for more important decisions. I'll listen to everybody and let them think that I'm going to do what they tell me they're going to do.
All right, they're about to begin the new challenge. It's a swimming challenge. Swimming challenges, what do you feel about them for yourself, your own personal preference? Do you like them, don't you like them?
I feel that it's just a little bit mind over matter. A little bit of...
and Paul seems to have fully recovered.
Yeah, amazingly. He's doing pretty
So now Paul's going to have to do some heavy-duty swimming. And let's hope that the cool water treats him well. He doesn't overheat. Now Paul's in the water with Will. All right, they're getting to the platform about at the same time. Will got up pretty quick. He's a strong guy.
If you were in control of your team here, would you say, let's send out our weakest person first, or would you send out your fastest swimmer first?
Definitely my weak would go first because I think that fast people can rise to a challenge.
Exactly, right? They see that they need to catch up, so they'll be more motivated to move faster.
And I think that the opposite, I think that if they have a wide lead, I think a weaker person may tend to swim a little weaker, slow down a little bit, maybe baby themselves a little bit, thinking that other people will pick up for them. I don't think people generally are like that on purpose, but I think it's kind of a personality trait. So, some people try harder, some people don't.
So I'm really bewildered as to why they decided to make David their fourth swimmer. David is definitely the weakest swimmer on the team.
Yeah, because they think they're going to get that wide lead. It doesn't seem like there's a wide lead, though. It seems like they're neck and neck.
I also would argue in favor of momentum. Whereas if you put your fastest guys last,
There's David.
Even if you're not winning by the end,
David, go!
You're at least catching up. You have some more forward momentum that you can use to mentally.
David's got that doggy paddle down. He's a pretty good doggy paddler. If I had to pick his best stroke, I would have said doggy. And David doggy paddled over to the...
I was really worried he would miss the key. I was worried he was going to jump and miss it.
Did kind of flail. I don't get to use that word often enough, flail.
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 That's a nice word. I like that.
Well, you can use it later. Not, I got to wait 10 seconds or so, and then you can say flail. And Jeff is spouting out and very supportive of everybody.
Jeff is very vocal in this challenge. I'm not sure why, but he really is.
Oh, okay, now we got her underwater. This is what I question. Okay, now the first person, now weak and strong, can't spend any time underwater. Some people, they get underwater, their face gets underwater, they immediately start to panic.
Yeah.
And I grew up underwater. I don't know why people do that. I remember going deep underwater when I was a little kid. Just being fascinated by it, not being scared of it at all. Brett knew to hold on to his mask when he jumped into the water, so he's obviously got some experience. Maybe been told.
I have problems with masks usually.
You gotta hold them when you jump in. You don't go forward. You're not supposed to dive onto the mask. You're supposed to go in feet first. Or theoretically, you go head first, but don't go face first. That would actually hurt.
Yeah, this guy likes to do crazy dives anyway. But
people are diving straight down. It's working, so maybe I'm wrong with that. Now, here's one of the things. Unless you have a lot of momentum as you dive in and have your weight over your body, then you really don't sink that fast. So believe it or not, it would actually help you exhale a little bit. And, of course, if you don't know how to exhale just enough to drop faster, it might actually scare the bejesus out of somebody to do that.
And you actually have to let your air out to get...
Yeah, and then what happens too is the deeper you get, the water compresses your body, and it feels like you have less air. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of physiology going on there.
So who do you think is going to win?
They did a good job. Well, I want the X's to win because I want to vote on the millennial side. You'd said earlier, by the way, that you felt that I'm not against the millennials at all. But I kind of have people on both sides. I have a feeling that a millennial will win. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I have a feeling that they will form an alliance, a strong alliance that will hold.
They'll climb the mountain that is the Gen Xers?
I think they're going to win the physical side of it. And once they win the physical side of it, okay, so the Xers have won.
So much for the physical side of it, huh? This was almost all physical. Mm-hmm. And the Gen Xers managed to beat them.
Oh, the millennials are not happy, giving a little dirty looks.
What was that?
Oh, I'm going to show you.
A little victory lap? Oh, no.
He's just swim over. But Paul, did you see his style? Did you see him swim?
Yeah, he's a good swimmer.
Oof. He did that Australian crawl like it was second nature.
David is safe.
David is always going to be safe as long as I say my prayer every night before I go to bed. Save David, save David. Mari. So she's a professional gamer.
Just getting a decent amount of verbal airtime.
Yeah. Well, I think she's going to be popular. You'd already said that you thought that she might be the winner.
Yeah, I had
her gaming experience might help her.
So the question is now, do they gang up on the power couple? Or does the power couple find a majority to take out one of the nerds.
Well, there was the argument.
Take out one of the Zeeks. Geeks and Zeeks.
Well, we're going to know pretty quick if a group breaks off right now to talk. Interviewing Zeke right now. Zeke has got his alliance together.
Okay, what are the chances that she's going to see Blindside coming?
Now they're talking Blindside already. It's kind of funny to me when they talk Blindside at the beginning during the first vote. As long as you carry numbers, there's really no need to Blindside. And I wonder why. Why do you have to make it a surprise if you have the numbers? Is it because nobody trusts anybody?
Because you just don't want anyone to start talking to the victim. And then maybe the victim can try to make a case for it.
Make an alliance, make a case. I like that. All right. So you're saying from the very beginning, deceit is one of those tools you just have to admit that you're going to have to use and be deceitful.
I think if you watch what happens in this episode, they made a mistake of telling him what their plan was. Maybe they didn't realize how close he is to his pal.
What's his name?
Wars. Jay.
Jay.
So Jay found out that they want to vote out Figgy, the hot girl.
Oh, and Jay needs his hookup.
Yeah.
Oh, poor Jay.
Right now, my alliance with Jay, Figgy, and Taylor, we got to keep that number, and we got to switch the vote.
That's a 4-man alliance.
Okay, so now Jay is going to make some of his own decisions, and he's going to talk to Figgy, obviously, and that's going to break up the strength of everybody's idea of how it's going to go down. Okay, so now let's go to how do you set that up? How do you know that when you... This is one thing I don't understand. Okay, so I tell you we have to do things a certain way, and we go back to camp, and you immediately go off with that person or somebody that we may have said already was going to be on the outside of our agreement. I'm already saying, okay, Zed's doing his own thing. He's gone. He's talking to the guy that we're going to vote off. Now you come back. I said, Zed, we just had a conversation. We're going to vote off X person. And you say, oh, no, it's okay. I was just over there calming him down and everything. But now I'm not trusting you. So that's the problem with this and why it seems a little easier to play at home than maybe play on the island, right? What do you think?
I think it's definitely harder to actually do it than talk about it for sure.
You could convince me of anything. See, me and you would be on the island and I'd be your bitch. Everybody, I'd be Zed's bitch. Zed would say, vote this way, I'd be voting that way. So because I tend to give trust easily and I tend to keep that trust.
So here's Will, and they need Will as a number to make their 4 into 5, make their 5 into 6. They actually go to Michaela, the girl who was fighting with Viggy, and they try to make a case for her, saying she's on the outs of the other group, so might as well join our group, which is true because someone told Jay that Michaela would be the next vote after Figgy.
But see, this is what I'm saying. During these meetings, if you're standing in a general location, how do people break off into these groups of 2, go have a conversation unless they just walked a quarter of a mile? And that's the other thing. If they went to walk a quarter of a mile, now we know they're talking about something that they don't want. There's a lot of things that seem like they would indicate that there's trouble afoot.
And we talked about the difference between millennials and Gen Xers, or maybe just an age difference. I think when you're younger, you're not gonna keep your mouth shut. You're gonna start telling the next person you meet everything right away. You just don't keep secrets the way older people tend to have the patience to keep a secret.
Yeah. Hey, I'm 53 and I'm just learning.
I once played a game of Risk. You know Risk?
Yeah, love Risk.
With 2 teachers and myself and a friend of mine. We were students at the time. And even though the 2 teachers never said a single thing of working together as a team, every move that they made in the game went against us, the students, but they never attacked each other. Whereas me and my friend, we would sometimes attack each other. But it kind of seemed like during the game they just figured it. Let's form a silent alliance. They didn't even need to communicate. They just looked at each other and realized what was best for them. That's something that comes with age, with maturity.
And their position, their original position on the board, kind of dictated that. But let me ask you, if you felt that the original position on the board had favored you over the other teacher, do you think the same thing would have happened?
I don't think so.
All right. So you're saying that there was their age and their wisdom.
Yeah.
Well, let's go to the tribal council now. It's happening right now.
Yeah, this is interesting.
And they're talking about what we're talking about. They're talking about how hard it is then to trust and form. And
Well, Morris made a case saying that when she's playing video games, it's fun to beat people. But when she's actually together with other people on an island, she sees them and they're real people. It's much harder to want to win. You feel like you can't break someone's dream. She's showing some humanity.
right. And Zeke is kind of making a case for the person that he is and how he interacts with people. Still like Zeke. Very colorful character. Seems intelligent.
At this point, do you have any clue as to who do you think is going to go home after this?
I think it's going to be her. What's her name?
Michaela?
Michaela.
Really?
Yeah.
No one's really putting her name down.
I think Michaela having that argument out there. I wasn't paying attention, so I don't know. Who did you feel before you watched? Who did you have a sense was going home?
I totally felt that the edit was leading me towards Figgy. Figgy, the power couple, was going to have to break up. But then you saw her, the fourth person in their alliance, really trying to do something. And now while they're giving answers, she's talking to the glasses girl. I can't remember her name. And they're just chatting it up. I think some social pressure tactics. Look at the way she's looking at her, like, you know what to do. You know what to do.
Okay, this is one of my questions. Do the producers deliberately break down groups and allow them this time, and it's not being told to us in the cuts of the show? It's just not being revealed. It's maybe something that's being held back in non-disclosure form or something. I mean, how is that happening on the beach? It just doesn't seem like it could happen in front of you and you wouldn't know what's going on. Am I in denial?
I think it could. I think it does happen.
Right in front of your face.
Yeah.
Oof. Because it could happen at the lunchroom at school. It could happen on an island, on a beach.
What's your take? Does this tribe mind that they're together? It's definitely not. I think he's always going to be a little more.
All the tells, all the body language.
Man, I can't stand those two.
Is it that power couple?
Yeah. They irk me so much. They're just too happy.
Well, they had a little cuddle. Is that
Oblivious.
Are you envious?
I'm not envious. I just don't understand
why
would you do that?
I have to tell you,
I
know I would not cuddle in front of everybody. I don't know that.
That kiss could very well be a kiss of death.
The quintessential kiss of death.
I was listening to a conversation. Are you a fan?
The peanut gallery.
She's playing the victim. The big smile on her face, knowing full well.
They're obviously making a change in their vote during tribal council. We've seen it happen before, but a meeting in a meeting. And they feel as though they're holding enough power that they can do that. Ooh, she's losing it a little bit.
Yeah. Her conscience is begging her not to do what she's being told to do. But
she seems a little flighty, I must say. What's her name?
I call her Glasses Girl.
Glasses Girl seems a little flighty. I think I'd be scared of her with that machete.
Breaking open the coconuts on her coconuts.
That's right, on her coconuts. Glasses girl. I like that. I call her Glasses girl.
I'll figure out her name soon enough.
A little bit, but my mind hits me right
And
now.
Jay's,
Please trust me. They're having the meeting in the meeting. They're having the meeting in the meeting.
I want to see these popular kids be the last one standing on their tribe. And then they get smushed with the Gen Xers, and then Gen Xers just pick them off one by one. Be like,
So
sorry,
you think
kids.
it's a Gen X is going to win?
I want a Gen X to win.
You know, and back to the Gen X millennial thing. What do you know what the last year of millennials is? When does it change? When is the last year of millennials? Is it going to be 2025 or something? 2000?
I don't know.
Okay, I got to look at that now because I'm a beginner X. I'm on the cusp now.
Mm-hmm.
So I was raised in and by a lot of baby boomers.
Yeah.
My grandparents were the greatest generation. And you were raised by all Xers. Whereas this next crop is going to be kind of raised by the millennials raising millennials. And I think there's a difference there. A lot of your sensibility.
This girl,
Glasses girl's having a dilemma.
who are you going to vote for?
Vote with your coconuts. I mean, vote with your heart. Oh, she's having a conflict, an internal conflict. Oh my God. Drama.
She tried to break the shell on her coconuts.
I've never, and she's breathing hard. She's gonna give herself some type of attack. Have we ever seen this before on Survivor?
I don't think we've ever seen someone this conflicted.
Anguish.
This conflicted in voting for their.
I like that conflicted. It's a good
Yeah.
word, conflicted. Mental anguish.
Is she going to fall in the majority or the minority?
Oh, a little shoulder rub, a little knee rub,
So is Figgy
a
safe?
little hand holding. And here we're at the vote, everybody. Dun, dun, dun. Aren't you always interested too how they stick the votes in the thing so Jeff can pull them out and make them as
Yeah.
make it as intense as possible?
First vote.
Figgy 1,
Mari.
Mari 2, and we don't want to see Mari go. Figgy 2,
Mari.
2-2, Mari and Figgy.
Do you think she'll see a blind side coming, she says?
Figgy 3,
Mari. We're tied again.
3 and 3.
3 votes Mari.
Oh my goodness.
Mari. That's 4 votes Mari. 3 votes Figgy. Mari. That's 5 votes Mari. 3 votes Figgy. Second person voted out of Millennials versus Gen X. Mari.
Mari. Oh my
Oldest
God.
millennial, I believe, on the tribe.
Wow. So you had a lot in common with her. You like to game. She's Asian. You like Asians.
I like all races,
Oh,
but I do think Asians are
she even looks a little
attractive.
like
But there's a little bit of similarity there.
probably not as good of a cook.
I like that she used the word salty. That's a very gamer term to say.
Salty. What does salty mean?
Salty is like you're vexed, you're angry.
Ooh, salty.
Yeah.
You have to teach me a bunch of those so that I can use them in the future podcast. Salty. And people will think I'm much younger. All right, so that was the final vote. For those of you who caught on, Mari's gone, who was a Zed favorite before he watched the episode.
She was my pick to win it all.
Win it
She's
all.
second boot.
Second boot. Now let's go to a third boot. Who's getting booted off next?
I'm going to see the millennials winning the next tribal.
Okay.
And I'm going to say Paul Paul is going to get either blindsided or the idol is going to blindside.
Do you think that Paul's health issue is going to...
I don't think that's going to rear itself again.
Okay.
It was found out to be...
What was it?
It was just dehydration and exhaustion.
So dehydration. How do you get dehydrated? Man,
Who
drink.
knows? Maybe he just works a lot, Maybe he's under the sun for too long.
Okay, I'm going to turn the sound down on this bad boy.
People tend to underestimate the power of the sun.
All right. So, for those of you who need to be caught up, we're watching and we're commentating as we watch. Please post in the comments if you would rather have us have an after-show podcast or a commentation which you like better, and we will comply. And we're going to listen to it and make that decision ourselves. But thank you very much for listening to us.
Yeah, but before we put an end to this podcast,
Sorry.
there are a few things I'd like to talk about.
Okay.
One, well, we the viewers might have been blindsided not seeing this coming at all, that Mari was really the one who was going to be targeted and taken out today.
Okay.
What do you think Mari could have done, in her game to prevent that from happening? What did she do wrong? What was her big mistake?
I have to tell you the truth. I think at this stage of the game, it was the first vote in a very big tribe. And I think that people don't necessarily know why they're voting, so it almost has to do with the strengths of those groups that are making those decisions and not what individuals necessarily do. I think she seemed like a nice person. She tried very hard during the challenge. I also think she seemed very intelligent. I didn't see her as being having a problem with anybody. What do you have to say?
I think that she probably came across as being intelligent in such a way that was a bit too obvious. Maybe that's turned her into a threat.
Okay.
I heard a couple people saying something about her, that she was smart about the game, that she's strategic.
Okay, so she played a little bit too smart.
I would look at the way she would explain her reasoning for her decisions in the game, like kind of taking control of the discussion when it came to strategy, putting herself out there as a leader in strategy. And at the same time, I didn't really see her making personal connections with a lot of people. I didn't see her as being close with anyone in the show. Whereas the group that kind of got super close together and they were all buddy-buddy, and they had their sort of little nucleus, and that kind of made people gravitate towards them.
Ooh, I have something to add to this. So Rachel, I looked up Rachel's nationality.
Okay.
And I could not see what part of the world her family was from. But I suspected that she might have some Asian in her. You thought maybe Latina. But I guess I wasn't going to make a comment. But the fact that she was Asian, I'm going to make a comment about American Asians. Sometimes they seem to not always put themselves out in other groups. And inside their groups, it's different. But relate to people outside of their group sometimes. And I don't mean to sound racist, it's just an observation. I have a lot of Asian friends. But so maybe that goes too. And now one of the things that you felt was one of her strengths was that she was a gamer. I have to tell you the truth, when you said that, I didn't think that necessarily made you stronger in groups of people.
I didn't mean it that way. I meant she was not just a gamer, she's a streamer. She's got a following online. People watch her. She makes money from playing video games. Okay. So
they like her personality enough that they tune in. And
if she has a likable personality, that likable enough for people to want to watch her online, that kind of likability would translate into being able to make good relationships. On the island, I think likability is really important, but also relatability. And I think maybe being a gamer hurt on that level, because I didn't hear anyone talking to her about that.
Right.
I don't think anyone was that interested to be like, oh, what was that like? Oh, I play games too.
And I'm going to go to your comment about her intelligence, her seeming intelligence, that if I was going to follow someone and I was interested in learning more about what I wanted to do, certainly you're going to seek out someone who's smart, and definitely gave me that impression too. So I could see why she would be popular. I'd love to listen to her. She's like a very bright girl.
You'd watch her play video
games?
games?
Yeah, of course. Because she seemed to know she had a reason for doing what she's doing. And that's what I want to find out.
I think it'd be interesting if she talks about Survivor while she's playing her video games. Like this episode comes out and then she starts talking about it.
I bet she's got a non-disclosure, so she can't. But that would be interesting. I like that.
There are things they're allowed to talk about.
Oh, really?
They do interviews and they can talk about their experience, especially if their episode where they're
Can we follow her? Can we look at what she's casting out through the week now after the show's been aired?
Yeah, we could definitely check that.
Let's look into that.
Yeah.
Let's look into that. I like that angle.
Jeff really talked a lot in this episode, didn't he?
Yeah,
the tribal was long. It was a long tribal. Jeff was talking a lot. He's trying to get
the tribal. I always find that because he has that power of knowing exactly what's going on, that he can gear what he says at those tribal councils to the heart. And not everybody knows necessarily where the heart is. Jeff certainly does, and he has a team of people helping him focus on that during his airtime, on-air time. And so it is interesting when he gives his little jabs, or he incites people to act on what he knows to be their motives. I think it's leading. I think it's leading. It's leading, and it's fun. It's fun that everybody's being manipulated by these people, and I think that it's generally done to entertain.
Let's say if you had a shorter tribal council, a brisk one, and that one girl who was talking to the glasses girl didn't have enough time to really sway her vote. Would the whole thing have turned out completely differently?
Definitely. And Jeff knew that. Everybody knew what was going on.
Yeah? Was Jeff
has to have an earpiece, right? So he's got 3 people telling him what to do.
He's very perceptive. Even without an earpiece, you can see
the Hillary Clinton of Survivor.
Oh, my goodness. So maybe Jeff purposely elongated the tribal council just to make sure that glasses girl would be swayed.
Interesting.
Peer pressure would win over in the end. I really am interested about this David and Goliath story. With David and not Dan, what's his name?
Paul.
No, David and his new ally. Ken. David and Ken. And they're working together, but Paul's in control. Paul's in charge, and he's got his 2 goons with him, these 2 big guys. And a couple of the women are in tow as well. And Cece's probably going to be with David because she's on the outs as well. So there's 3 of them against, is it 5 or 6? 5, 3 against 5 really right now. I really, really want to see it if the Davids can beat the Goliaths in that tribe. And then maybe they're the ones who can take out the brats, what I'm going to call the brats from the millennial tribes. Because they're so bratty, I can't stand that. Triforce, oh my goodness. Anyway, I guess it's good as time as I need to wrap it all up. Thanks for listening, everybody. That was the Zed Dude Fish Survivor Podcast coming at you every week.
And again, don't forget to
Saturday,
comment. Send us your comments on whether or not you'd rather us do commentary or end a show. Now that we've done both, see what you say. We're going to listen to, and we'll follow through with what our hearts tell us to do. Thank you.
Yes, all 5 of you, please do write in and tell us what to do next. Otherwise, we'll be blind. We'll have to make our own decision. Wait a minute.
Those 5 are 5 watches, and they could be like 50 people in the room.
What did you think?
So that 5 could translate to more numbers.
Did you enjoy this format, or did you enjoy the last one?
I liked this one.
I liked it too. I'm glad that.
But I missed a lot. I missed not a lot of the nuance.
That is true. I felt like you were not getting some of the small details that they show. So for me, I kind of prefer the after show format. But this works too. I mean, I can talk about it. I've seen it already, and we can talk a little bit afterwards as well, like this. So
good.
We can get into it a little bit deeper. Anyways, that's it. Let's wrap it up.
Thank you.
The Zed Dude Fish Survivor Podcast.